Think only men ran the underworld? Think again. From cartel queens to million-dollar madams, these women built criminal empires that shocked the world. Don't miss the untold stories of power, blood, and billions. Watch before it gets taken down. Madame Pearl Elliott was not your average woman. In the 1920s, she ran a secret brothel in Indiana and was well known among gangsters of the time. She was often arrested, but that didn't stop her. Pearl became closely connected to famous criminals like Harry Pierpont and even John Dillinger. People believe she helped hide them after prison escapes. Some say she was even their gang's treasurer. Her name ended up on the Chicago Police's public enemies list. At her peak, Pearl was worth around $40,000, a huge amount back then. Sadly, her life ended quietly after Dillinger's death when she became ill and returned to her mother's home. Bonnie's reign. Bonnie Parker started as a small-town girl with big dreams. She wanted to be an actress, but ended up becoming one of America's most feared criminals. At just 16, she married Roy Thornton. But after he went to prison, her life changed. She met Clyde Barrow, and the two became partners in crime. Bonnie even helped him escape jail by smuggling in a gun. Together, they robbed banks and stores across several states. Their crimes brought in nearly $73,000. Bonnie was once arrested but claimed she was kidnapped. In 1934, their crime spree ended when police ambushed and killed them in Louisiana. Bonnie's legacy lives on as part of the infamous Bonnie and Clyde duo. Gang mom Mar Barker was known as the gang mom behind the deadly Barker Karpus gang. Many believe she was the mastermind, but some gang members later said she wasn't really in charge. She had 4 sons, and most of them turned to crime. Her son Fred, along with Alvin Karpus, formed a gang in the 1930s that robbed banks and kidnapped people. Mar helped them by renting safe houses and hiding their weapons. Her name became big in the news after she and Fred were killed in a shootout with the FBI in 1935. Her story was made more dramatic by the FBI to justify the violent end. At her peak, she was worth around $200,000. Boss lady Thelma Wright lived a normal life at first, raised in a Catholic home, but after her husband, a top heroin dealer, was murdered in 1986, everything changed. Instead of leaving the drug world, Thelma stepped in and took control. She became known as Boss Lady in Philadelphia's drug scene. She handled heroin and cocaine between Philly and Los Angeles, making around $400,000 each month. Thelma lived in luxury but faced many dangers, including a shootout in 1991. That same year, she decided to leave crime behind. Years later, she wrote a book in 2011 and revealed her full story. She turned her dark past into a lesson for others. Harlem Queen Stephanie Street Clair, also known as Madame Queen, ruled the Harlem gambling world in the 1920s and 30s. Born in the Caribbean, she moved to New York and started a successful illegal lottery business, known as the numbers game. Unlike others, she used her power to help her community, giving jobs and supporting civil rights. When the Mafia tried to take over Harlem's gambling scene, Stephanie fought back with the help of her trusted enforcer, Bumpy Johnson. She even exposed corrupt police officers and testified against them. With a net worth of $500,000, she was a fearless leader who stood strong in a man's world. Rum Queen Gertrude Lithgow was one of the few women to succeed in the alcohol trade during Prohibition. Born in 1888, she started working with a British liquor company. When alcohol became illegal in the US, she moved to Nassau and began selling high-quality scotch to American bootleggers. She was bold and confident, once even threatening a critic who insulted her liquor. Despite being in a male-dominated world, she built strong partnerships and earned respect. By 1926, competition grew and her luck faded, so she left the rum business. Later, she moved to Detroit and retired in California. Her smart moves earned her a fortune of $1 million. Cartel Empress Claudia Ochoa Felix was known as the Empress of Anthrax, a feared group linked to Mexico's powerful Sinaloa cartel. With her glamorous looks, designer clothes, and gold AK-47s, she became a viral sensation on social media. Many believe she took control of the hit squad after her partner, a top cartel leader, was arrested. Though she denied any ties, authorities linked her to violent crimes. Claudia lived a lavish life but remained surrounded by danger. In 2019, she was found dead from a drug overdose in her home. Her mysterious life and sudden death shocked many. Her net worth was around $1 million. Mafia matriarch Virginia Hill rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most powerful women in organized crime. Born in Alabama in 1916, she started out as a waitress but quickly climbed the ranks of the criminal world by working as a courier for the Chicago outfit. Her charm, sharp mind, and connections made her a key figure, handling mob money and passing sensitive information between gangsters. Virginia wasn't just a messenger. She played a major role in coordinating deals and keeping the mob's operations smooth. Her estimated net worth was around $1 million. But what really made her infamous was her romantic link to Bugsy Siegel, one of the most feared mobsters of the time. Their passionate affair placed her at the center of Las Vegas's rise and Bugsy's mysterious murder. After Siegel's death, Virginia's life shifted. She married a skier named Hans Hauser and moved to Europe. But her past never stopped haunting her. In 1966, she died from an overdose in Austria under suspicious circumstances. Many believe she knew too much. Virginia Hill wasn't just a gangster's girlfriend. She was a powerful force in the Mafia world who knew how to survive and thrive in the shadows. Snakehead Ping, Sister Ping, real name Chung Choi Ping, was one of the most powerful human smugglers in history. Born in 1949 in Fujian, China, she moved to New York City in the 1980s and quietly built a global criminal network. Between 1984 and 2000, she smuggled over 3,000 people into the United States, charging up to $45,000 per person. Her operation earned her more than $40 million, making her one of the richest female gang leaders ever. At first, Sister Ping used fake passports and commercial flights. But after demand exploded following the Tiananmen Square protests in 1989, she shifted to cargo ships, sometimes packing hundreds of migrants into dangerous conditions. Her crew included armed enforcers from the feared Fuk Ching gang, who made sure payments were made, often through threats and violence. Even after serving prison time in Canada, she kept her empire running. But in 2000, she was arrested in Hong Kong and later extradited to the US. In 2006, she was sentenced to 35 years in federal prison. Sister Ping died behind bars in 2014, battling cancer. Her empire was dark, deadly, and massive, and it left a deep mark on international smuggling history. Cocaine queen Griselda Blanco, known as the Cocaine Godmother, was one of the most feared and richest drug lords in history. Born in 1943 in Cartagena, Colombia, she entered the criminal world at a young age. By the 1970s and 80s, she ruled the Miami drug scene, smuggling massive amounts of cocaine from Colombia to the US. Her empire was worth an estimated $2 billion. Blanco was ruthless. She didn't just deal drugs. She ordered hits, ran operations like a war general, and eliminated anyone who stood in her way. She even invented the use of motorcycle assassins, hitmen who'd shoot rivals in broad daylight and vanish. Her network spanned multiple cities and she made millions every month. She was arrested in 1985 and sentenced for drug trafficking and murder, but even behind bars, she remained influential. Released in 2004 due to poor health, she returned to Colombia and kept a low profile. However, in 2012, karma caught up with her. She was shot dead by a motorcycle assassin, the very method she had once created. Griselda Blanco's legacy is one of blood, billions, and fear. A woman who ruled the drug world like a queen. From brothels to billion-dollar drug rings, these women ruled with fear and fortune. But the world of power doesn't end here. Up next, discover how Kim Jong-un spends his billions on secret luxuries. Click now and dive into the madness.